Hey everyone, Janey here. Welcome back to my garden. So I'm actually at the gas station right now filling up my gas tank because I am headed to the plant store today. I woke up and I realized that it's past mid-March. It's March 19th today, and I have not done my March garden bed. So what I'm talking about, last month in February, I decided that I was going to do a little grouping of plants every single month for this whole year, January through December. I didn't have this idea in January, so I don't have January. I'll do January at the end. But basically in February, I bought a couple plants that were blooming at the time. I planted them as my February garden. And then each month I will plant whatever is, it's time to shine, so that basically I can walk through my garden all year and I can have something blooming. I think that I should have gone earlier in the month, but honestly, I don't know what happened to March. March just completely got away from me. So I'm headed to the plant store right now. The beauty of this is the plant store has already done all the work for you. All you have to do is walk in the front and they display all the beautiful plants that are blooming at this time. So all I have to do is really go to the front of the plant store and look and see what's blooming, grab it, take it home and plant it. And then at the end of the year, I will have a 12-month long garden that's going to be blooming every single month. So I'm really excited about this idea. I think it's going to be really fun once I'm completely done. Gas is done, so I am headed to the plant store right now, and let's see what's blooming. All right, we're here, and I already see some really, really beautiful things. So Green Acres has like 7 locations, and I always find myself going to this one. This is the Elk Grove one. I like it a lot. So this is what I'm talking about, the displays. They will put all the beautiful things that are blooming right now, right in front, like this osteospermum. Chinese fringe flower, but I'm looking at these. Azalea. Hino white, they're saying this one's Hino white, this one's coral bells, and that one is happy days back there. I have never grown azaleas before. I am totally new to it, but I think I'm gonna have to try. Oh, it's looking so full. Oh my goodness. So this is the other thing that my garden center does. They have something called Flower of the Hour, and they actually put it in their newsletter, and then they will put it up here so we all know basically what's blooming. What is this? Salvia Mojave Red. Pretty. Okay, distraction. This is called a bush morning glory. Have you ever seen this? It gets 2 to 3 feet tall, 3 to 5 feet wide. I'm thinking shade garden, people. Wouldn't that be pretty? Okay, so I just did a quick Google search on this plant. First thing I searched was, is it invasive? Because you hear morning glory and you get kind of nervous about it. So this kind, convolvulus, there is no way I'm pronouncing that. This one is not known to be invasive anywhere in North America, as opposed to other kinds. I'll put their name right here. Those can be invasive in certain areas. So just make sure you check. It's always good to check. Usually if you have a reputable garden center, they're not going to sell invasive plants in your area, but it doesn't hurt to check, especially because I'm showing this to all of you and I don't want you to get all excited about this and then realize it's invasive in your area. So, distraction, it is going to be beautiful. Okay, back to the task at hand. Now that I got some more pretty plants, there's just so much to look at. It is so exciting. I love this time of year at the garden center. Okay, first let's go to the azaleas, because I think that's definitely what I want to go for. Okay, so here's a happy days. I know there's a whole azalea section here. Oh, everything's looking so good. All right, this time of year, this is when all the garden centers sell bougainvillea. And I'm gonna say no to bougainvillea. I love it. I love it so much. It's so wonderful. It is just such a pain in the butt. It is so finicky. It is the most finicky plant. And I think I am like scarred from my last house where I had bougainvillea growing up the side of the house. It was beautiful, but man, it took a lot of work. Look at how cute these are. These are the cutest little blooms. Ameria Dreamland. How cute. Oh my goodness, that was so much harder than I thought it would have been. I thought I was just gonna run in there, grab something and run out, but I could not make up my mind. I feel like I was distracted by all the beautiful colors. So let me show you what I settled on. I'm telling you, I was in there for like an hour. Okay, so there is a look at what I've decided on. As you can see, I of course decided on the azalea. How could I not? They're so beautiful. You could see this one is, I mean, it's not nearing its end, but it's definitely like mid blooms. But again, I want these plants to start blooming at the beginning of March. So I think this azalea is going to be perfect. This is called Happy Days. This one gets really big. I'm going to put on the screen how big it gets, but I think it gets 5 to 6 feet wide. So my problem is I couldn't decide where I was going to plant. Here in Northern California, they recommend azaleas should be in filtered sun or morning sun only. So I was just kind of going back and forth on where I was going to plant because I don't have a lot of morning sun spaces. My property is so open and it is so exposed to the sun. I have tons of full sun spaces, but the morning sun, I'm kind of limited. So then I was like trying to think what I was going to put with it. So here's what I decided. On my long border underneath the neighbor's tree, that's going to be filtered sun. So I'm going to plant the azalea there, and then in front of it, where it's a little bit further away and it's going to get more sun, I have these, I think they're called violet ice. Is that right? No, lavender frost. Close, but not quite. Lavender frost, African daisies, or osteospermum. And then I couldn't help myself. I've never actually planted this plant before. This is called heather, and this is called Kramer's Rote. The landscaper that helped my parents with their new property, she really liked this plant. So here's the tag right here. So I definitely wanted to try it again. Full sun, right? So full sun, filtered sun. So that's going to be closest to the fence. And then as you come away, we're going to have these. And then as a underplanting, yes, I'm going to do creeping Jenny. Yes, I know it's going to go everywhere. It actually doesn't go everywhere for us. We're just too dry, so it doesn't spread as much as it would spread other places. I kind of wish it did, but it doesn't. So I'm going to plant this underneath and hope it spreads a lot because I think that would be really pretty underneath all these plants. But you can kind of see the color that I'm going for, the colors. I think it'll be a really pretty March planting. Then finally, I got these Bush Morning Glory. Again, they are not invasive in North America, excuse me. I just think they're so pretty and they're going in my shade garden. All right, I am back home now and hopefully you all can see where I am. Let me turn the camera around. So I'm over here in the long border. You all can kind of see where I'm at, but particularly I'm right here, right in front of my neighbor's tree. Look at this beautiful dappled shade. So I think the azalea is going to love that. I did purchase some azalea, camellia, and acid planting mix that I'm going to mix into my hole. And then I do have the tiniest bit left of this soil acidifier I'm going to put in. So azaleas like a lot of like really acidic soil. So I'm definitely going to be amending it with the planting mix and then adding even some of this in. There are azalea and camellia and gardenia fertilizers that you can buy. And I thought I had some, but I did not have some. So yeah, I'll get that next time I go to the store. So the Happy Days azalea, it says it gets 3 to 5 feet tall and 4 to 6 feet wide, which is crazy. I mean, I can't imagine that thing getting that big. So I did bring out my measuring tape, which I like to do just to ensure that I'm planting it in the right spot. The osteospermum or African daisy, I don't think I pointed this out. The reason why I chose this, look at the eye of this and look at the azalea Happy Days. Look at how perfect that goes together. And then you get the heather in and it's the same thing. Isn't that perfect? And then a pop of the creeping Jenny. I just think that is such a pretty combination. I don't think I explained that back at the garden center. These guys are going to get, I think, 20 inches wide. Let's see, 14 inches tall and 20 inches wide. Now, I do want to point out that it says hardy zones 10 through 11, but I've always had African daisies come back for me really well. So I'm going to consider these as a perennial, because with these plantings, I don't really want to do annuals, because what's the point of waiting until next year for them to bloom again? So you all might see this African daisy and be wondering why I'm planting that, but I really do think that they're going to come back. The heather is definitely going to come back. It says hardiness to zone 6. It's going to get 12 inches tall. So this is going to go in front of the African daisy. And then finally, like I was saying, as a ground cover, the creeping Jenny. I do have to point out, I had a little bit of a accident in the back of the truck. Look at this poor thing. It fell over and then the can must have come off and the can's gone. And so 1, I feel really bad because I littered, and 2, I feel really bad for this poor thing. I got to get it in the ground. And 3, I got to get some type of cover for the back of my truck, because every time I put plants back there, they get kind of ripped around. One final thing I just want to show off real quick is my high fragrance camellia. Look at how pretty it is. This is another one of the Nuccio camellias. This one though is called high fragrance, and it definitely is high fragrance. It smells so good. I mean, I'm so bad at describing how things smell. It smells like a rose to me. It really does smell like a rose. It's beautiful. I cannot wait to get more blooms on it, in subsequent years. But I'm loving all these camellias that I've planted in my garden. All right, so I've got my drill and I've got my auger. I will link this in the description down below if you all have any questions. If you're ever looking for anything that I'm using that I have a link to, I will link it in the description down below, so you can check out there. Again, I'm just going to get all this stuff planted. I think I'm going to kind of air over there so some of the stuff can get full sun, and then azalea can still get dappled shade. Okay, let's get going. And my March blooming garden is all done. I think they all look so good. I'm so happy I chose the Happy Days azalea. I was kind of going back and forth just because I'm just not well versed in azaleas. I don't really know how to do them. They like really acidic soil, and we don't have very acidic soil. I was just kind of going back and forth. But then I was thinking, in Sacramento, which is about 15 minutes away from me, there's this neighborhood where all the houses have beautiful azaleas growing in the front. They're so gorgeous. I should do a walking tour or something. But they're so beautiful. And so I know they can grow here. I think they just take a little bit extra work, kind of like the peonies. So then, yeah, I have the osteospermums that the center eye kind of brings in the same color of the Happy Days azalea. And then same with Kramer's Rote. I think that's what it was called. I want to call it Kramer Rose, but I'm almost positive it was Kramer Rote. Hold on. Yeah, Kramer's Rote. Interesting. If I accidentally call that Kramer's Rose, I'm just calling it now because doesn't it look like it should be called Kramer's Rose? I'll have to look and see why they named it that. And then, of course, I have the Creeping Jenny, which is beautiful. It's in the Goldie version, so it's going to be bright in this dappled shade. I'm super happy with it. I think it's beautiful. Okay, one last thing I want to talk to you all about today, and you probably saw that from the title, and you probably know exactly what I'm going to say, but I want to officially announce the Proven Winners / Park Winters pop-up for May 25th. This is something that I've been teasing for a while now, and that's because I've been working on it for a while now. This has been kind of an idea that's just been brewing in my brain for so long, simply because here where I live, we have so much trouble getting our hands on Proven Winners annuals. I remember before I worked with Proven Winners, I would drive everywhere to try and find Proven Winners annuals, and I was often unsuccessful. And I just thought, there has to be a better way. There has to be a better way. So as soon as I started working with Proven Winners, I've been kind of pushing this idea of hosting pop-up events where everyone can come, everyone can have a good time, get some food, get some drink, talk to other like-minded gardeners, and get your hands on Proven Winners. So tickets are officially on sale at my website, digplantwaterrepeat.com. This whole thing has it's become something so much even better than I ever expected. Everybody that we've talked to has wanted to participate in this. All my favorite brands, all my favorite gardening companies, like Turkovich Wines wants to participate. You guys, it's just going to be so much fun. So let me kind of go quickly through what it's going to be. So basically, you're going to get your tickets and then you're going to show up at Park Winters early in the morning, like around 9 a.m. on May 25th. Park Winters is letting us do our own self-guided tour of the grounds, which is amazing in the first place. And then we are going to have speakers. We are going to have Michael Glassman, who's going to speak. We are going to have Kate David, the Queen of Containers, is flying down from Seattle to speak at this event. And then, of course, my bestie Robbie is going to speak about arranging cut flowers. And yes, let me talk about cut flowers. Park Winters has its own cut your own bouquet garden, cut your own flower garden. And that is going to be part of the event. So you can come, you can get wine from Turkovich. We're going to have food for you. We are going to have cut flowers for you. We're going to have speakers for you. You're going to be able to go around all the Park Winners gardens and have so much fun. Oh, by the way, we're going to have amazing Proven Winners annuals. For every plant that you buy, we're going to give you a raffle ticket and have you enter in to the pop-up raffle, which is incredible. There are so many fun things that you can win. A Hoselink hose reel, a Vigo garden bed, a Spoma fertilizer packages. I mean, it's going to be so fun. A bunch of Proven Winners fun stuff like aquapots and like twistin plants. Yes, I have so much of it for you. Fanula at Cottage Gardens of Petaluma wants to come and be our veggie person and have veggies for sale and be there to talk to her. You guys, I just can keep going. I'm trying to keep this short and succinct, but I can't. By the way, there's going to be amazing swag bags with really, really fun stuff, including some stuff from Bootstrap Farmer, including some stuff from Kate David. It's going to be so much fun. I'm just so excited about it. So digplantwaterrepeat.com, go there, get your tickets. And for those of you who have FOMO and can't come to this event because you don't live close, if this event is a success, if we sell all the plants that we need and everybody has a great time, my goal is to do this at more places. My goal is to take this to LA and take this to Oregon and take this to Seattle and Texas and Florida and wherever else you guys want, just let me know. But this is kind of like the trial to see how it works. So for those of you who are local, get your tickets, come buy the Proven Winners plants. I will see you there, and we're gonna have such a great time. And I, of course, will film it for all of you that cannot come. So very excited. May 25th. I can't wait to see you all there, and I hope you all have a chance to get in your garden today.